you know, the more out there, the more they can produce good players, and the French have done it very, very well.
Now this is interesting because Korolev has been chatting to Cedric Murier, and he obviously wants something. They're sending one out. Perhaps he hasn't got the right, right towel or something like that. Korolev, incidentally, won the spin of the coin. And he's going to have a serve.
First set, Evgeny Korolev to serve. $15 love.
Sharp, isn't it?
15-all.
First short ball, he had opportunity. It's that cross-court forehand is one of his favourite shots. And taking the ball early, in other words, closer to the baseline.
$15-30.
Somebody shouting out, "Come on, Rusty," which is one of his nicknames, not the one he enjoys. It refers to the colour of his hair. He prefers to be called Rocky. After the movies.
30-all.
Useful serving to start with from Korolev. 2 aces already.
Net for serve. $40-30. Yes.
I think what we're going to be looking for in terms of statistics is the ratio of winners to unforced errors from Korolev. If he's got a big surplus, he's going to trouble Hewitt. If he's got a big deficit, it's going to be quick.
Well, the thing you know about Hewitt is there's not going to be an awful lot of unforced errors. He'll throw in a few here and there, which does frustrate him. So yeah, the match is really going to be lost on Korolev's shots.
Game quarter. First game.
So Korolev comes through a testing opening service game. His best ever result came last year. Well, I suppose we ought to call him a Kazakhstani now, when he reached the final in Delray Beach. This year he's really struggled. He's had first round losses in 9 of his 16 tournaments, and his best result was actually reaching the 3rd round of the Australian Open.
It's tough for the guys that are ranked about that position, because they're not seeded. They often run into the seeds early on, and if they're up-and-coming players, they're he's got to have a certain cap. The sponsor's logo is probably too big on the on his cap, so he has to get an All England club cap.
I don't know if you heard that. He said, "My problem is I've got a big head." Lovely. Yes, the sponsor's logo can only be such a size under the rules and regulations.
Yeah, look for a few of those serves. Leighton loves that one out wide.
15.
One of the features of Hewitt's game over the years is the way he's flattened the ball out, so he doesn't hit it nearly as much topspin as he did when he first came on the circuit, and even won his Grand Slams. And that's funny because that's exactly the same thing that happened to Andre Agassi. Did the same thing, flattened the ball out over his career.
30 love.
And one of the reasons for that is power. And if you want to, any spin of any sort slows the ball down. The flatter the ball is, the quicker it's going to go through the air. Occasionally you get the freaks like Nadal who can hit with heavy topspin and power, which is just almost beyond belief the way he hits the ball. Hope he doesn't mind me calling him a freak. It's in a nice way. But he is. He's a freak.
I'll pass on your thoughts to him next time I see him.
In a nice way.
One game on.
So a comfortable opening service game for Leighton Hewitt. Super play, Hewitt doing so well to stay in the rally.
15 luck.
Well, he did well after the bat, the first shot, didn't he? That one of those shots that Korolev hit almost knocked Hewitt over, got himself back into the point, and from then on was pretty defensive. Players will be feeling out the speed of the court a little bit. First few games.
15 luck.
Now they're the ones that players like. They have a bit of speed without too much, and this is the second serve where he will be looking to attack today. That was the news from his coach. Listen, anything that short second serve.
15-30.
When they come with a bit of pace, the ball comes off your racket quite quickly. It's the balls that don't have a lot of pace you have to generate, and this is where Hewitt. Well, let's say the bigger, stronger players do it better than Hewitt these days.
No, that's poor execution.
15-40.
And early chances here for Hewitt.
Almost like a last-minute decision, wasn't it? He realised he had to go down and slice that back, and instead of being happy to get it back in play, he went for the riskier drop shot.
Magnificent.
Oh, that's a great pass. Oh, he's going to have a challenge.
Jeez.
Oh,
It's called out.
it's called out. I didn't hear the call.
Okay. I didn't hear it out either. Wonder if he overruled that one, but in any event, Korolev seems to be reasonably happy with that. He must have felt that he hit it out. And a solid game from Hewitt to break there. A couple of unforced errors from Korolev, but you know, Hewitt does what he does so well, is constantly, and what his game plan was today was to just make it tough enough for Korolev, hit with just enough pace and just attacking enough. It'll put him off balance, just so those big shots that he goes for, you know, will not be as consistent. And on the clay where they played last time, those balls will sit up a little bit. He'll have more chance to hit the big powerful shot. But on the grass here, the ball skids through, so he's slightly rushed. And here he is, slightly rushed. And you're not far out if it was.
No, I'm very surprised that Korolev didn't have a challenge. Leighton saying that, yeah, it was called out. But I'm very surprised that Korolev... But I suppose the problem for someone like Korolev is he's often playing on courts that don't have
time.
Probably. And the fact that he was so far off the court there, maybe he didn't really know where he was.
That's Becky Hewitt. Of course, she was in the green. She was an actress in The Home and the Way, just nodding encouragement to hubby. They've got a boy and a girl so far, and another one due at the end of the year.
Leighton says it. They're not going to find out this time if it's a boy or a girl.
15 love.
First ace for the Australian.
Jumped a little bit on the grass. We're so used to perfect grass courts that we very, very rarely see bad bounces here, but there are some occasionally, particularly just inside where the players serve. You can see that on the left there. The players follow through after their serve.
Ooh, lucky.
T 15.
There's a little look up to his crew up there to see if that they agreed with the call or not.
Was coached by his father, he's now coached by his brother. He's keeping it in the family.
That's great.
Hewitt.
Hard to fire your father though, isn't it? There you go, that's an incredible that. Well, another ace from Hewitt.
Hewitt leads by 3 games to 1.
Well, I'm glad you Australians have got something to support still, because I mean, your cricket team is rubbish. I mean, they got slaughtered by England yesterday.
Did they?
Again.
It's just I didn't pay attention to that, mate. Just a one-off. 50-50. I think we're the world champions though 4 times in a row, if I'm correct in saying.
Former glories.
Former glories. Oh, is that right? Okay. We won't mention the football in a few hours' time then, if England go out. Well, Australia will still be in for a brief moment.
That's a fine shot.
30 love.
Now this one just enough pace, not too fast where it skids onto him. Not that easy to meet that one actually.
40 love.
Well, he really depends on a lot of the winning points on his serve and setting the ball up with the serve. Done done that so far in this game.
It was a lovely illustration of flattening out the shot, as you were saying, Pat.
And also where he's standing. Look, he's just behind the baseline there, and see where Korolev is. He's had to push himself, you know, good 3 feet, metre or so behind the baseline. Where Hewitt is, that's a spot right there. He would love to stay all day, except for when chasing down some really wide ones. And that's what he done. He's stood his ground. He's very happy with that. Attacking the second serve. I mean, it was a miss hit. It was hits it on almost the throat of the racket there, or the top of the racket. Miss hit, but the intention was correct. That's put pressure on Korolev's second serve.
Game Korolev. Hewitt leads by 3 games to 2 first set.
Well, he needed that game, didn't he, Korolev? Having lost 3 in a row. Just a quarter of an hour gone, and Hewitt already in the ascendancy.
So Korolev's only won 1 match on grass. Is that correct?
Yeah, that was the first round.
Yeah, and Hewitt's opponent in the first round just come off and actually hadn't even had a chance to have a match on the grass leading up to it. Played Gonzalez, who was playing in a challenger tournament, which is a lower level tournament. He played in the final, which he lost on the Sunday, I believe. Turned up Monday morning, had a hit on the grass, played Monday afternoon, and promptly won the first set against Hewitt.
He did. He played pretty well, actually, for 2 sets and then faded away.
It's a pretty good effort to do that. I think it goes to show how the grass courts have changed over the years. I mean, there's just absolutely no way, you know, during my career that a player would be able to do that. Perhaps towards the latter part of my career, which, you know, I retired sort of 10 years ago or so, the courts are becoming harder and bouncing slower. But the grass courts bounce so high now, they're in such good condition that not quite as high as a clay court, but it's not so difficult to change. And that's one of the reasons why I've thought Rafa would win French Open and Wimbledon again this year. Oh, right in the line. Nasty. That's what happens when he hits the lines. Oh, that didn't bounce at all. Stopped, didn't it?
Swing and a miss.
Now that's very clever play from Hewitt. Slicing the ball with not much pace, hitting it deep, and it's going to stay low, and Korolev's going to have to try and generate some pace off that one. In many ways, Hewitt almost suckered him into that. So yeah, there's a nice slow one. Have a go at this one, mate. He wasn't really on.
Brilliant defensive lob in the middle of that rally from Hewitt, right onto the far baseline.
40 love. Game Hewitt. Hewitt leads by 4 games to 2.
First love game of the match. The winner of it will play either Karel Beck of Slovakia or the 21st seed Gael Monfils, the very talented Frenchman, and they're on court 2 at the moment, and Monfils leads by 2 sets to love. That would be quite a match, Hewitt and Monfils in the 3rd round.
Oh, I tell you what, you see some running that match, wouldn't you? 2 of the most quickest athletes you've ever seen.
third ace.
It's funny because Hewitt is renowned as one of the quickest players on the court, but over 30 or 40 metres, he's not that fast. But over short space, and more so than anything, the way that he's able to stop and change directions, really like a racing car, stops on so quickly.
all. Huh. 15-30.
They're the shots that are usually on different surfaces, not so much on the grass. So Hewitt's very flat, skimmed across the net.
The first come on of the day. It's taken just 20 minutes.
Again, it's at second serve.
15-14.
Really troubling Korolev with that attacking at the second serve. May even expect a double fault coming at some stage from Korolev. He's under so much pressure. Oh, that's a great second serve, that one.
30-14.
And Hewitt was ready to attack it. And look, full credit to Korolev. And he's down 2 break points. Just had his second serve slammed down his throat. Another second serve comes up and doesn't back down.
Yep.
Yes.
I suppose they must have just kicked off.
Korolev.
Well, it's probably fair to say that Leighton's not that worried about the World Cup. Adelaide boy, though they do play some football, soccer there. It's all Aussie rules.
Yes.
Yeah, that one's again one that just is very flat from Leighton and stays a little low. And Korolev's hasn't really backed down at all. I mean, that's the strength of his playing. He likes to hit a lot of winners, but some of those just are not on. Maybe he's just a little bit impatient at the moment. Much better play from Korolev, wasn't it? That was, I think he realised, wait a minute, I'm making too many mistakes here.
Advantage Korolev.
Let's just work this point and see what happens. The longest rally of the match so far.
Game Korolev.
Wow. Good effort to get out of that.
New balls. Hewitt leads by 4-3 first set.
Certainly was, given that he was down 2 break points. And a double break would have secured the set. Well, that's a result from a ladies singles. Daniela Hantuchova going through in 3 sets. That was a match that was stopped last night. It's what they do. It's a lovely way of keeping the crowd informed of scores on other matches. And the doubles event, the British wildcards, Eaton and Inglot, leading in that one. Now let's have a look at the point that Pat was making about so important for Korolev to get a lot of first serves in, because he really does need to he's really struggling to win points behind his second serve. Now Hewitt, fantastic, but those are the points won behind the first serve. Korolev 70%, that's very reasonable. If we can just move that onto the second serves, oi, I've got a big problem. I'm winning less than a quarter of the points behind my second serve.
Yep, well, that was the game plan from Hewitt. He knows that Korolev's... Well, look, guys who hit the ball at this speed, there's not an awful lot you can do when the first serve's in. You just have to hope that you get a second serve, and when the second serve comes, you have to try and take advantage of it. Let's face it, if the guy's serving 125 miles an hour and he's near the line, what chance you got other than trying to get it back? But you have a chance on the second serve, and that's so crucial to do something with that second serve. And that was Hewitt's plan. So far, so good. Over gully. Probably third slip. Down to third man.
Yep, certain fall.
Love. Love.
Ooh, he's missed one.
40-15.
Must be a bit like playing against a brick wall, playing against Leighton Hewitt.
Certainly used to be. I mean, he does make the odd unforced error, but when he came on the scene and won his first US Open, yeah, guys like Sampras said, never seen anything. The better I served, the better it came back.
$40-30. Yeah, Hewitt. Hewitt, it's by 5-3.
Lovely placement of that last backhand from Hewitt. So after 27 minutes, Korolev must hold serve to keep this opening set alive. They get the courtside seats because they've been queuing.
$15. Love.
Well, Hewitt just occasionally gets his legs a bit tangled up on the backhand.
Love.
Ooh, that's by Hewitt standards, a very lazy shot. Didn't really move the feet. Certainly didn't complete the shot.
No, I think he's thinking about serving the set out.
That's more like the Hewitt we're used to. Right onto the line, just down in front of our commentary position. We're so lucky on centre court, number one. You're so close to the court, you actually feel part of the match.
It's better on the court one, isn't it, for us, I think? Centre court, we're screwed a little bit by the umpire's chair. I've guests are able to give court one tickets to, and sometimes they go, court one. I say, wait till you get in here, you'll see. It's actually in many ways a better court to view tennis. Well, he made a beautiful one earlier in the
40-30
in the set, and I said that's not that easy to do that, to meet that slice ball coming forward, and that time he struggled with it. It did skid through to him, and he didn't time it perfectly. And that's Leighton knows that's a tricky shot to hit.
Yes.
40 love back to deuce, and that's typical of Hewitt, isn't it? A lot of guys would say, 40 love down in this game. Conserve the energy, I'm going to serve it out in the next. That's not in the vocabulary of Leighton Hewitt.
Advantage Korolev.
One statistic that Korolev is in front of is in the aces count.
Game Korolev. Hewitt leads by 5 games to 4, first set.
So Korolev extends the first set, but now Leighton Hewitt will have the chance to serve it out. Pat, you want to contrast a good Hewitt backhand with a not so good one.
Yeah, well, Hewitt, watch the backswing, particularly with Hewitt. He doesn't take much backswing. There's not an awful lot of time to do so. And this is this one where he hits a winner. Look at his feet position. He really does very, very little. Just his feet are already in position, and he just takes the racket back a little bit and pushes through the ball. So he uses his opponent's pace to hit that. Now, this is the one. Oh, it's a bit of a slice. He misses that one. His legs are quite across. I know we talk about
time.
We know we talk about getting your legs across, but sometimes Leighton gets too far across, and that's again I think one of the ones that he struggles with just from time to time. Plonks one into the top of the net. And it's not, well, of course, tennis is such a sport where you're reacting all the time, and you can't always get your feet in the right position. But sometimes when Leighton does have the time, he's in a way a little lazy, just sticks his leg across there without a little shuffle to get slightly closer to the ball. When your legs are crossed across, they sort of jam yourself up. You can't really move them from there.
15 love.
Nice way to start when you're serving for the set.
Penalty love.
There was half a chance there, wasn't it? Korolev, a nice juicy second serve.
30-15.
Another nice long rally, and Korolev seems to be coming out on top on those longer rallies. At this stage, he's not willing to stay in the rally.
T15.
Serve.
Little bit of slice on it, keeping the ball low. And after 34 minutes, Hewitt has 2 set points. Took all the pace off that one, 96 miles an hour.
Six games to 4.
Becky didn't look over worried about that, did she?
No.
Sort of, well, yes, that's what you're supposed to do, darling.
I don't think she even broke conversation really there, did she?
Chatting about plans for tonight or whatever.
He's pretty good at serving out matches. He's done that many a time. Sliding that ball out, and the opponent, again, Korolev, having the opportunity to go for some of these forehands, and he is going for them, but they're not all dropping in. And that's the thing about grass court tennis, as opposed to clay or hard court. Then they're not always. They just skid along a little bit, or sometimes they just jump or hit a bit of grass. It's not a completely perfect surface, though, virtually these days.
Well, the second serve percentage points won,
yeah, that's
17. That's hopeless.
Well, yeah, it is hopeless, I suppose. But the full credit to Leighton Hewitt, who has been putting pressure on him, and you know, that was his game plan, and he's executed it to perfection. First serves in is actually pretty good from Korolev. So he's, well, I suppose what you're saying is, if possible, even get that higher. But ideally, got to do something with the second serves, a bit more effective, and I'm not sure if he knows exactly what to do about that.
And you'll have noticed no serve and volley from either man. That's the modern game of tennis.
Second set.
Yeah, I'm a bit surprised. I think we might see Leighton sneak in a little bit.
Low 15.
Oh, come on there from Hewitt. He'd love to get an early break here.
Low 30. $15.30.
No, not that often. He misses the backhand return. And that's what has been his strength over his career, is under pressure, he has always made his opponent play. And he'll be sharpening that up. Hopefully, well, hopefully he's hoping that has more matches after this, but he'll have to start straight away.
On.
Pretty confident in the Hewitt camp. Nathan Healy, his coach, who is a former player.
30-40.
Yeah, you just can't afford errors like that, particularly when they give Hewitt a chance for an immediate break in this set. There's Nathan Healy in the red. Good doubles player.
Good doubles player, good singles player too. Super fit, unbelievably fit player. He's a young, still young guy. They're almost like mates.
Real pace on that forehand.
Yes.
And that's, well, that's his game plan. Just hit one big one, get Hewitt on the defensive. Hopefully hit the winner, but if not, it'll open up the court for another opportunity. So far, they haven't come, have they?
Advantage Korolev.
He's a bit unlucky there. He didn't attack the second serve as such, but it was a good second serve, and sometimes you had to say, okay, look, this serve's too good. What I'll do is I'll go for position, and he hit it virtually on the baseline.
Game Korolev.
Well, won't be happy, Hewitt. About a few missed opportunities there, returns, and he's not happy at all. Snatches the towel away from the pool boy.
Yeah, as if it's the poor ball kid's fault. I can always remember when Leighton was first emerging, I asked Pat Rafter, what's Hewitt like? And he said, the most competitive little bleep he'd ever come across. In everything. He said he hates losing at anything.
Well, it's Korolev now really to start putting a bit of pressure on Hewitt's serve. He's been cruising along a little bit too comfortably, really, for Korolev's liking. And he's just too many unforced errors. He has to get himself into the point, really.
He dropped just 5 points on serve in the first set. Hewitt. Make that 6.
Well, good play. Made the good return.
Now 15.
And he still went for it, but he didn't go crazy at it. And, you know, came in. It was good play from Hewitt. He just didn't get close enough. He should have been there when the passing shot was hit, not a step or so back. He just hesitated a fraction before sneaking in, Hewitt. Oh, that is delightful. Well, I didn't think he had that shot in his repertoire, but
Low 30.
That's a fabulous pickup indeed.
Pot.
He'll be disappointed there, Korolev. He does struggle
15-30.
against the low ball in the middle of the court.
yeah, look, it just takes a little while to get used to that, but also it's a mentality thing. It's okay, that ball, it's there. It's going to have to play slightly defensive with it. You cannot attack flat out.
No, he's going to have a look. Surely have a challenge. It's a crucial point, yeah.
Evgeny Korolev is trying to go on the right knee sideline.
Just for your own peace of mind.
Oh, I know he's got plenty of challenges, as you said. It's just clipped it. He's got 2 break points. And it has, and he does.
Ball is overturned.
He wasn't going to, was he? He's pretty happy. Glad he did now.
15-14.
So it's 15-14, not 30 all, so ignore that score at the top of your screen. 15-40.
Now, I know it's in his nature to go for shots like that, but, you know, he's building confidence bit by bit. And okay, he's got 2 break points. I think he's thought is, well, let's go for 1. This one I might play a little bit more safely. Oh, yeah, well played.
He's got it. And brother's pretty pleased about that.
Korolev, it's by 2 games to love.
Oh, a big, powerful backhand down the line. Rushing Hewitt. Very rarely he will miss the backhand if he's rushed, but he will miss the odd forehand.
So that's a good response from Korolev to dropping that first set.
That's going to annoy Hewitt, because having had the chance to break the first game, then losing his serve.
Love 15. Love 30.
But of course, breaking is one thing, hanging on to the break is another, because you know Hewitt will be so determined to break back straight away. It's the nature of the beast.
Oh, yep. Why? Because his second serve been under pressure.
Oh, it's a pity, because he'd got himself back into the rally when he was struggling. Hewitt with 3 points to break back straight away.
Well, he's not doing much with the ball there, Hewitt. He's hitting the ball very safely into the court. And he's got the break. Bad game from Korolev.
Korolev leads by 2 games to 1. Second set, Hewitt leads by 1 set to love.
The break back secured to love. And any thoughts that Korolev might have had of, I'm right back in the match now. Suddenly that little balloon has been pricked.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a funny game, tennis. As soon as you think you're doing okay, unless you're in real top form, where these top players like Nadal, and well, at the moment I can only think of Nadal is really so confident that he can go for every shot and believe that every shot he can hit will be a winner. Even Federer at the moment he has those doubts, and Murray as well, and you know, you just lose concentration a little bit, start feeling a little bit happy with yourself. And as I said, Hewitt didn't do much in that game. He got the ball back, and particularly the last 2 points are very soft, just pushing the ball into the position and tempting Korolev. It's one thing being able to hit a winner when you're cruising along 40 love up and you go on the serve, whatever, you can go for a big old winner, but all of a sudden you love 30 down.
Time.
It's an awful lot harder to find those winners. And as I said, the court at the moment is still reasonably slow, so the ball isn't coming onto the racket quickly, so you have to generate your own pace, and that's tricky. In the next couple of days, the court will be very quick, and you can just swing away. The ball will be onto your racket, and you won't need to generate any pace.
Please.
Back on serve then. It's 1-2.
15 love.
And that serve has worked a treat. No, he's missed it.
Love.
Well, nice to see Hewitt at the net.
Love.
Again, he's just going for that serve every time because Korolev just hasn't got an answer to it.
Yeah, Hewitt. Two games off.
Fourth ace from Hewitt, and that's again typical of Leighton. He goes down a break. What does he do? He wins the next 8 points and is back in front.
Just
15 love.
that point just illustrates how important it is for Korolev to get that first serve in. And he's winning his fair share of points just on the serve alone, but to set the point up.
Yep. 15 on.
Well, we're not surprised. That's actually a pretty good effort. It's a first one, considering how much pressure he's had on his second serve. He's only hit one double fault.
Yep, that's the first double fault of the match. Oh, that is a remarkable shot off a complete miss hit.
I think Hewitt thought he had the point here. Miss hit on the throat of the racket, wobbled down there, and I mean, round the edge of the net post with a heavy topspin. That's a shot that you wouldn't be able to do really without these modern strings. But get the extra spin. Oh, wow. Oh.
40-15.
Went for it again.
40-30.
Alexei is the name of Evgeny's brother. He's also a trained physiotherapist. So,
that's handy.
Yeah, coach and physio all in one go.
Wow.
And you have to pay for one fare.
Does he string rackets as well?
Probably.
Wow. Make hotel bookings? Ironing?
There's the brick wall that is letting Hewitt again.
Yes.
Just
never lets up, does he? I mean, after that backhand, it gave him 40-15. I think he's feeling right. Pretty confident here. Big mistake. Wow. Well, full credit. He continues to go for his shots, doesn't he? I mean, that is his plan. That's how he's got a decent ranking in finals of tournaments. Anything that's hittable, he will go for it.
Yes.
It's that winners unforced errors ratio again.
I suppose the question is, was that a shot to go for the winner? And yeah, when you're red hot.
16-5, incidentally. That's one more unforced error than winner for Korolev. 15 winners, so he's in deficit. That's why he's struggling.
Advantage Hewitt.
And a second double fault of the game. And Hewitt has a point to make it 3 straight games.
Net for serve.
Frustration beginning to boil over a little for Korolev. That's nowhere near.
Well, Heels will be happy.
Hewitt leads by 3 games to 2, second set, and by 1 set to love.
Again, under pressure, Hewitt didn't do much, just got the ball back in the court. That just gave Korolev just enough rope. And he's tempted. Yeah, it's a dangling carrot, isn't it, there for Korolev? A nice ball 3/4, you know, a length, and as I said, on other surfaces, he has his right to go for those, and he would believe that he would hit those in 99 times out of 100, perhaps. But on the grass, it's just a little different story, and he'll probably learn this over the next year or two. And there's not a big grass court season, so you naturally resort back to the game plan you've had for 11 months of the year, which is, that's the shot that I should be hitting, and I'm going to go for that. But not always on the grass, so too many unforced errors. Of course, he'll be disappointed, and perhaps, you know, he'll learn before the end of this match that he's just got to be a bit more patient.
Love.
Well, they continue to come, the unforced errors.
Net. Love.
Yevgeny Korolev from Kazakhstan really struggling. Just the one break decided the first set, then Korolev won the first 2 games of the second set. Hewitt's response was typical. Having gone a break down, he won the next 8 points. And he's now got 3 points to win a 4th straight game.
Game, Hewitt. Ball change, please. You both.
Nathan Healy in the pink is the coach of Leighton
Hewitt
Hewitt.
by 4 games to 2.
Not sure if he'd like to call that pink, mate. Might be a light red.
Faded red then. But it's typical Hewitt, isn't it? He was annoyed because he had a break point in the first game of this set, then he dropped his own serve and he sort of knuckled down and said, right.
Yeah, enough of those unforced errors. He played a good first set, and Korolev, you know, he loves to go for the winners. That's his play, that's his style, and Hewitt's just been suckering him into going for shots that are not really on.
15 love.
And
15 love.
yeah, after holding on just Korolev in the first game, he broke, and then Hewitt tightened up. Korolev has just had unforced error after unforced error.
Early love.
And Hewitt's game plan of attacking at the second serve, his first serve, as we saw, is a big first serve, but second serve can drop a little short. Hewitt's been attacking it, and very successfully.
Love.
And I suppose when we say attacking, we know not attacking in the classical sense of grass court play, as in hitting and getting into the net. Just pressuring.
Game call.
Well, that's a better game. Just pressuring the second serve, but no need there. Didn't have many second serves.
Hewitt leads by 4 games to 3. Second set and by 1 set to love.
So let's introduce you to Evgeny Korolev. He's 22 years of age. He was born in Moscow, but is now living in Astana in Kazakhstan. And, well, just as you arrived, so arrives the trainer. We certainly didn't hear it. It looks as if he's got a slight problem with his wrist and maybe a little bit of tennis elbow. He's ranked 77 in the world. His win in the first round against Eduardo Schwank of Argentina was his first ever win on a grass court. His best ever result on the tour, reaching the final in Delray Beach in Florida last year.
So what I'll do, I'll give us on this spot now. I'll change over to the neck. Okay?
Oops, neck and shoulder problem there. So it's see, he's a pretty strong boy, and
that's Evgeny's brother, Alexei, who is also his coach and is also a trained physiotherapist, so he ought to know what's going on out there.
That's right, I bet he could. Watching closely there. Also books his flights, his hotels, does his ironing, cooks his food.
Ladies and gentlemen, Evgeny Korolev is receiving a medical timeout.
Very eligible bachelor by this looks of it.
Thank you.
So he's got a bit of a shoulder problem, but it could be relating from the neck. And then from the looks like that's going to certainly affect his game there.
So there we are. That's the situation. Treatment with Hewitt up a set and up 4-3 with a break in the second. Well, all very unfortunate. We didn't see this coming at all.
Back of the shoulder there, and that would certainly hurt with particularly with the backhands, but probably following through on the serve as well.
2 minutes remaining, gentlemen.
Just trying to loosen that up. And of course, it's not always exactly from that position, so the pain originates from or is caused from. So he hasn't got, maybe not have enough time for treatment, but he's the physio, I think, is going to try and get into his neck as well.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Just to explain the rules for you, the trainer comes out, assesses the injury, then he's allowed to give 3 minutes of treatment, and he's allowed then at the next 2 changes of ends to have treatment within the 90 seconds that is allowed for a change of ends.
One minute remaining, gentlemen. 1 minute remaining.
1 minute remaining. He's just, of course, telling Leighton Hewitt as well, because it's often difficult for the person who's not receiving the treatment. They don't want to lose their concentration. They don't want to stiffen up themselves, although on a beautifully warm afternoon like today. Well, I suppose this is a chilly afternoon by Australian standards, is it?
Yeah. Well, no, it's quite tough because, of course, all the guys have been over here in Europe and we know in France, and the weather's been quite cold, so we're acclimatised to the European weather.
30 seconds.
So this might take an effect on some of the players if they end up going on to a long 5-set match. That's on the left, far left there is actually Leighton's trainer, so he's got a bit of a team with him. He was one of the Australian Open trainers, masseurs. Got on well and said, Leighton rightly saying that, look, I've had a few injuries, had hip surgeries on both hips. Same little problem. It's taking him out for a couple of months. And that's a little knee. So he's getting that. He does so much on his. He relies so much on his speed and his agility over the years, and it's going to take its toll. And so he said, well, I'm going to have a full-time trainer. Keep me going.
Play to resume then, with Korolev down a set. And Hewitt serving at 4-3.
Love. Love.
6 ace for Hewitt.
Well, there's that nice flat shot again from Hewitt. Initially just going for depth and position, and that one that just skims over the net, skids through on the grass.
Game, Hewitt.
And this is where he's annoying to his opponents, Hewitt. When you think you're in the game, you make a couple of unforced errors.
5 games to 3.
And then he serves up a couple of aces, and that's more than a handful now.
It's won his last 3 service games to love as Leighton Hewitt.
He's certainly been holding serve comfortably, hasn't he, other than the one game, which he was not happy about.
Love. Love. Love.
9 aces for Korolev.
Game Korolev. Hewitt leads by 5 games to 4. Second set, and by 1 set.
Well, this match progressing rather rapidly because the last 4 games have all been love service games.
It's not quite like it used to be. I mean, they used to get a couple of big servers and the games would go very, very quickly. That's as he's stretching out the back of that shoulder. Seems to be serving okay. Popped in a couple of aces there. And now his biggest problem is how to do something against Leighton's serve consistently. And he really does tend to go for a bit, in my opinion, a little bit too much on the returns.
Yeah, Hewitt's lost precisely 9 points on serve, and 4 of those were in one game.
Yes. So he's just doing enough, and of course one of Hewitt's best serves is the one he slides out wide to the forehand, skids through. Korolev's tempted to go for the big winner or the angle, and haven't been coming off just yet. Now, will he play a little bit more safely, get into it, or will he just continue to go for the shots? Playing safer. For a second.
15 love.
Oh, I think he tried to play more safely there. He got the return back in play. Leighton, just started the rally off. Oh, they've unforced error, that one. Just takes him out of his comfort zone a little bit, doesn't he, Hewitt there? Just the flatter ball, shorter. Korolev having to come forward.
40 love.
And there's that pesky ace. He just throws in at the right time.
3 set points then for 2 sets to love.
Game in second set, Hewitt. 6 games to 4. Hewitt leads by 2 sets to love.
So just an hour and 12 minutes gone. And Leighton Hewitt thoroughly in command of this match. Leading by 2 sets to love.
Have a little look at the set stats, and I think we'll probably see pretty much the same thing as we did in the first set. We look down the second, serve points won. Well, Korolev's improved a little bit, but not really enough, and service returns in 45%. Hewitt missed a few returns early on, so that sort of dropped that 63% to where it was. After the first couple of games, he didn't miss much, did he? Snuck in a couple of times at the net, and unforced errors there, right down the bottom, almost at the bottom. 13, way too many for Korolev. Hits a few winners, of course, and there's the neck treatment, which may be where the problem is coming from. And it's one of those. We all wake up with a stiff neck every once in a while, don't we? Imagine having to go out there and play Leighton Hewitt or Rafa Nadal with a stiff neck on court 1 or centre court at Wimbledon. He's got a band around his knee. That's from tendonitis. That's called and an ankle brace, which is one of the ones you sort of buy, and braces, both of them. Bit of a warrior, and so does Leighton. He has the braces and there's a bit of a knee as well.
Not to mention a grotty hip.
Or 2.
Yes.
Yeah, it's just a hip surgery, which was He tried one. It's a bit of an experimental hip surgery. It's in the joint there. There's a sort of a flap that goes over the bone, the joint, and it was just torn. So it used to get just niggle there and
Third set.
irritate him. And so they went in there and they sewed that up, and I found it worked. And he had the same on the other hip, so he eventually got that done earlier this year. Kind of minor surgery. It did put him out for a few months and annoying him for a year or so.
Low 15.
Well, one thing is for sure, Korolev cannot afford now to go down an early break, because he'd be heading for an early shower. Just typical. Korolev throwing everything at Hewitt, and it just came back.
Low 30.
And the length is an interesting length, because he did, as I said, he hasn't done an awful lot with the ball. He gets one deep as he can, but he drops it just about 3/4 length and tempts Korolev to go for it. And that's a very slow serve. Maybe this his arm is really upsetting him now. 94 miles an hour. No, that wasn't on. That's just frustration now. I think he's got the stage. He doesn't know what to do. Another slow serve. That hit the line and really jumped up 90 miles an hour, 97 miles an hour. So maybe it's a tactic, or maybe it's, I'm assuming it's shoulder.
That was a ball girl not back in position. That's why Hewitt asked Korolev to wait.
Game Hewitt. First game, first set.
I fear that mentally Korolev has thrown in the towel here. Not literally, but doesn't look to be much belief left in the Kazakhstani.
No, well, of course his game plan is to try and hit a lot of winners and have a, and the shots are just as I said, on a grass court. A lot of those shots are tricky to hit, and he's been making the mistakes. He knows that Hewitt, I mean, that's the thing about Leighton Hewitt. When you go to play Leighton Hewitt, you know you have to hit a lot of balls or a lot of winners, and you know, patience is the thing. It's just to serve big. Now if he can't serve and he's not hitting the winners, where does he go from there? Well, there you go.
He throws his racket in.
15 love.
Well, that's another attempt, trying to hit your opponent with a racket. Yeah, he's going for the towel. No.
Love.
This is the previous point, of course. Whoops.
15.
Now you see, Leighton Hewitt tries to serve and volley for the first time in the match and dumps the volley in the net.
Well, it was quite an awkward one, actually. It was a medium height volley. He went for the drive volley. Probably needed another 6 inches higher. Would have been perfect height.
Shot.
Hewitt's
30 all.
trying to sneak in here, but the approach shot wasn't exactly where he wanted to. And from that position, it's got to be pretty accurate. He's got the whole cross court open. And boy, you had to move really quickly to be able to cover that. Wasn't quite good enough approach shot. I just hope that doesn't discourage him. He's come in a couple of times off not ideal shots and not quickly enough into the net. A lot of players get dejected.
40-30.
He's missed a lot of those today, and he knows it time and time again. I don't know if he's done his homework very well. He's obviously played Hewitt once before, but he should know that Hewitt loves that serve out there.
That is as big a forehand as you'll see all championship. Enormous.
Yes.
Well, this one was high enough. If you watch, well, we're not going to see that, but he was able to hit really very much down on the ball. A lot of the other shots that Hewitt's hit, because of the flatness that he hits the ball at, are not high enough. So Korolev's flat shots just go into the net or out.
It's by 2 games to love.
Well, he had to work for a service game, but that's an overwhelming scoreline in favour of Leighton Hewitt. Incidentally, Guillermo Monfils lost the third set to Carol Beck on the tiebreak, so we still don't know who the winner of this match will play.
Love 15.
Just ran into that ball a little bit. Feet weren't quite in the right position.
Love 13.
Oh dear. The shot of a man who's tired mentally.
15. Net for serve.
Oh my. Oh, he's all right. Of course, the surface of the court just behind the baseline, already worn even though it's day 3. Tough to get the grip.
And it's hard, I tell you. Those courts are not quite cricket pitch hard.
So the point for the double break, and effectively for the match for Hewitt. Yeah, the reaction from Hewitt says it all, and I think Korolev is calling it a day. It's all over. It's a retirement. And I'm sad about that. I don't like players who don't finish matches.
Ladies and gentlemen, due to arm injury, the
a bit of a pity. I mean, it was only going to be one winner, really. Hewitt there, he played a very, very solid game, and Korolev suffering from the shoulder problem, couldn't serve. Was really struggling with his ground strokes, frustrated. And yeah, disappointing not to finish. But yeah, full credit to Hewitt. He knew his game plan, and to make this man hit as many tough balls as possible and attack a second serve, and he absolute to perfection. His game plan worked, other than one little slip in the second game. It was his first service game in the second set. Other than that, almost faultless tennis.
Yeah, and it's good to see the former champion through to the third round. Of course, he was a quarter-finalist here last year, lost to Andy Roddick at that stage. The champion of 2002. Plenty of time to sign those oversized tennis balls. So, Leighton Hewitt safely through then. It will go down in the records as a victory. 6-4, 6-4, 3-love retired. This was the salute to the crowd from Leighton Hewitt.
And probably to the fanatics, his fans that make their way over here, all covered in green and gold.
So Leighton Hewitt through to the third round, which is the round of the last 32. And he will play either Gael Monfils, the 21st seed from France, or Karel Beck from Slovakia. Monfils currently leading by 2-1, but down 1-2. So let's hear now from Leighton Hewitt. He's talking with Phil Jones.
Well, Leighton, an abrupt finish, but you were in imperious form out there today, I have to say.
Yeah, it was good. It was an improvement on my first match, which was good. And, you know, he's a tough player to play because he always wants to get the first hit in out there, and he wants to dictate play. So, you know, I had to bide my time. I felt like I went out there with a good game plan. I served extremely well, and yeah, it's nice to be through to the third round.
Now, the run you had here last year, the form you've been in, coming into this tournament on grass, winning in Halle, it all bodes seriously well for you. Yeah,
no, well, everything's going well at the moment. Obviously, Halle gave me a lot of confidence, you know, how well I can play on this surface. And every match, though, from now on is going to get tougher and tougher throughout the draw. And, you know, you've got to try and survive the first week and give yourself an opportunity in the second week. And, you know, hopefully I can do that.
Well, you're certainly always up for the fight, but also you kind of play that embraces this place, loves this place, former champion here. That certainly helps, of course. Yeah, absolutely. I love this place. My favourite tournament of the year, so I get really excited about coming back here every year. And yeah, when I end up finishing playing, this is definitely one of the tournaments I'd miss most. So it's always a pleasure to come back and play here, and especially on, you know, one of these two big centre courts too. So good to see you playing well. Well done again. Thanks, mate. Cheers. Thanks, mate. Thanks. Thank you.